Hey guys, today I want to go over weathering and erosion. So as always, follow along here with the notes that I gave in class. Okay, so mechanical weathering is physical forces that break down rock into smaller and smaller pieces without actually changing the mineral composition of what is being broken down. It can also be called physical weathering. Note here that it might get smaller, but it maintains the same mineral composition. Okay, and that can go here. Okay, and we can talk about some different types of mechanical weathering here. So in nature, three physical processes are especially important in causing weathering. So we have frost wedging, which is mechanical breakup of rock caused by expansion of freezing water. As you should know, water expands when it freezes. So water can get inside tiny cracks in rocks, and as it freezes, it pushes that rock apart. So it produces talus, which are sections of rock that are wedged loose and may tumble into large piles, which typically form at the base of steep rocky cliffs. And there's an example right here. Okay, we have unloading, which is reduced pressure on igneous rock causes it to expand and allows slabs of outer rock to break off. You can see here the expansion process and then rock falling off as an example. You can also have biological activity, which is the activity of organisms, including plants, varying animals, and humans. And you can see here how the roots of this tree have started to break apart the rock. Okay. You also have chemical weathering. Scroll down here, which is the transformation of rock into one or more new compounds. For example, the chemical weathering of granite. So weathering of potassium feldspar produces clay minerals that are soluble salts in a silica solution. So basically these things break down chemically and form new compounds. And you can see a second example here. This results in spheroidal weathering, which causes the corner and edges of rock to be more rounded. You see that here in this example. It can cause differential weathering caused by variations in composition. So the rocks are made up of different things which erode quickly or more or less quickly when talking about chemical weathering, and results in these unusual rock formation that you see here. Okay, let's get into factors that affect the rate of weathering. Number one is the rock characteristics. So what is it made of? Its mineral composition and solubility, and physical features such as joints or other things that are in the rock itself. Number two is climate, and like I talked about in the previous one, temperature and moisture are the most crucial factors in this, and chemical weathering is most effective in areas with high temperatures and high moisture, as this speeds up the rate of chemical reactions. Okay, so getting into erosion here. Erosion is the process of wearing away surface material and moving these materials from one location to another. There are several agents of erosion. You can see those listed here. Okay, so getting into erosion by gravity here, or mass movements as it's otherwise called, is the transfer of rock and soil down slope due to gravity. And mass wasting or mass movements are classified by the speed in which they travel and the types of soils that are being moved. So you can type those into these. So what are triggers of mass movements here? So water or saturation. Heavy rains can lubricate the soil, which makes the ground slippery. It turns dirt into mud, which leads to increased mudslides and can cause transportation of these materials to speed up. Or over steepness of slopes. So the steeper the slope, the faster the movement of the debris. So anything over 25 degrees in steepness of a slope is considered dangerous. So what are some of the triggers of mass movements here? So continuing, removal of vegetation is one. So root systems that hold soil together can slow down the movement of these things. That's why we plant trees and things like that to avoid this. But removing these can speed up these processes. Earthquakes can shake earth loose and loosen enormous rocks, and one of the primary causes of landslides. So we're getting the type of mass movements here. Geologists classify mass movements based on the kind of material that moves, how it moves, and the speed at which it moves, as we've already defined. Rock falls are one type, which essentially means falling rock or the movement of large rock materials. You can see an example here as well. apparently we're skipping over number 2 in the slides here. Let's see if I can get to it. So we can talk about slides that include sediments of bedrock are called landslides, and you can see pictures of those here. So a slump is a downward movement of a block of material along the curved surface. And slumps occur when a large area of land slips downward on a curved slope. Slower movements that are usually caused by clay soils and heavy rains, and you'll see these in areas that are in the foothills and under intense rainfall. Okay, we have mud flows, which move quickly and carry a mixture of soil and rock. You see a lot of these after hurricanes and things like that. Kind of has the consistency of concrete, so it kind of sticks to everything that it has and moves that along with it. And earth flows move relatively slowly and carry clay-rich sediments. We also have creep, which is a slow downhill movement of soil and regolith, and this is the slowest form of mass movement and only travels a few centimeters per year. An example of creep. You can see that here as well. And that's all for these notes.